Please welcome Owen Paterson.
Well, thank you very much, Owen. I think you've pretty well said it all, so I will be brief. I've been consistently supportive of the view that the current arrangements were settled in the two referenda. It was 94% of the South, 71% of the North, and the big constitutional issue which has dominated Northern Ireland for decades is now settled subject to the consent principle. And we can now move on beyond the politics of the peace process and concentrate on the things that people bring up with me on my visits here. And incredibly, I'm coming here very nearly 5 years. You put up with that. 5 years ago, David Cameron asked me to take over as Shadow Secretary of State, and I've been coming here every week. And time and again, the issues that come up are issues, many of which are devolved, but many of which are still in Westminster's control. So taxation, a lot of stuff to do with business, and the whole welfare issue, which everyone is particularly interested in at the moment, as in Duncan Smith's incredibly brave and positive reforms go through. A lot of this is decided at Westminster, and then much is devolved. So there is a real role for a party which has links into Westminster. And I've been absolutely clear, and the Prime Minister said this, and we'll see it dramatically, I hope, in a few weeks' time at the Olympics. You can get to the top of you can get to the top of sport from Northern Ireland. You can get to the top of journalism from Northern Ireland, guys at the back with the cameras. You can get to the top of the law from Northern Ireland. You can get to the top of business from Northern Ireland. You can get to the top of the military from Northern Ireland. Why on earth can't you get to the top of politics? Why is Northern Ireland semi-detached? Why is Northern Ireland not part of the mainstream? And we do have a great opportunity now, with very large competencies devolved, with stability in the institutions. We have a wonderful chance to move Northern Ireland on. And I think what Owen's done is really, really, really good. Building up a new party effectively on the ground is really positive. There will be local issues where you will want to get involved. We're quite clear that down the road we would like to see politics to evolve to a more normal system. We all understand how the current arrangements are there. We've been quite clear that we stand by the institutions, we stand by the arrangements, and we also will, as we made quite clear in our election manifesto, we will negotiate any changes very carefully with all the local parties and get their agreement. But wouldn't it be great if we did have a centre-right party leading the way with new ideas on all sorts of fronts? Many of them will be in local hands, many of them in devolved competencies. And I do think there is also a role for a party which is on the ground, which can be in close touch with the Secretary of State, bringing views to him, which I can also raise at national level with the Prime Minister and with the Chairman of the party. So it feeds in to national policy in the Conservative Party, which we are confident will be the majority party at the next election, as we continue to clear out the hideous mess that we inherited from the last government. So you have a really valuable role. And I'll just touch on one thing where I think there's very broad agreement, as we've seen in the polls this week. Prime Minister came over almost a year ago now and said that he would like to see a shared future, not a shared out future. And that is something which is of real value for future generations. And I think having a party with centre-right views, which is completely colourblind, ignores all the traditions and backgrounds of everyone, and works for the good of the whole community here, is something of real value. So I wish you the very best of luck. I look forward to working closely with you. We need to build this up from the ground. It'll be a long task. It'll take time. There'll be disappointments on the way, but it's a goal that's really worthwhile. Thank you.